Hello and welcome to this LEGO City theme park disaster series. I really do need to work on this introduction, but today we are working on our Marvel slash superhero section, and it is all about dioramas. The buildings have been placed. This is where we've got to with regards to what we've done so far. In the first upload, we put all the different base plates down, going across all the different tables. Ignore that. And then we have also then started to add in all the different minifigures and all that kind of thing at the bottom. But today we are going to be expanding the path and then working out a display that is going to go at the front of the Avengers Tower. So, with that being said, let's get to it. So fingers crossed, this should be a simple enough upload. This is actually following on, obviously, from the last upload, but I have had a live in between where I was asking everybody, what's the best thing to do at the front? And I did also ask that question in the last upload as well. And of course, because, well, the live streams are absolutely chaotic, Batman. So that is what we're going to be doing. We are going to be putting a Batman display. I think we're actually going to put Batman up in the Quinjet, and then all of the villains underneath, and then we'll have some of the other heroes on top. So that is what we're going to do to end this upload, which will be a good bit of fun. The MCU stuff is going to go to the back on the Statue of Liberty, so that will be its own separate upload as well. So like I said, these are all going to be like 20-minute, half-hour, quick, bite-sized chunks. It's just going to take me so long to do the tiling. So what I want to try and achieve in this upload, which is what I'm going to start on but not bore you with, is get the tiles to the back of this one just here. Finish off the tiling at the front, get this to the back, and then if I can be bothered, bring it round a little bit so I can then figure out what we can do with the dioramas and things. All of these pieces over here is going to be for the Marvel bits in 2026, so I might actually just stop at this bit here and just be lazy, and then think about if I can be bothered tiling underneath this bit and adding in the white, so obviously we can then go and add other tiles as it comes round, because these two plates I've just put down as spacing for the X-Men mansion. So obviously all of this would be tiled underneath in front of the diner, and then of course we can then start coming up with some other dioramas as well, which I think that's going to be quite a big job to do, so that'll be its own separate upload as well. So I'm not going to bore you with the tiling, but I am going to entertain you with how we're going to be putting the minifigures and things on this Daily Bugle. I will start by doing that bit at the back. Hopefully that should only take me sort of 15-20 minutes to do, because it's all individual bits and a real pain in the backside just to try and get everything square and level. And then more than likely I will come up to this point because I can start to figure out exactly where the white line is going to stop, because we will have a white line on the inside, because we're doing a white line as a separate border against the grey, so it just kind of looks like it matches up with all the alleyway. And then we'll figure out what we're going to be doing down the side in a separate upload. So plan of attack, that's what we're going to do, and then we can have a bit of fun with the Batman display. So that is the first little bit done, just round here. So I think that looks quite smart. It doesn't take too long, to be honest, but I hope that this now should, there we go, just slot straight in like that, and you would never know. So that is going to be the plan going down that way, so you can see what we've got at the back. It does mean that we do have a little bit more space. If we wanted to push the Hulk back, for example, we could do that, and then maybe just have some minifigures out the front, or we bring this one back forward, and then obviously we have the minifigures behind it. So the plan of attack, because of the live stream, and nobody actually realised this, is that what we're going to do is you're going to have all four faces of the Avengers Tower as a completely different diorama, which is great, because you've got the actual sort of meet and greet stuff down at the bottom, which I did first, where you've got obviously Miles the dad and everything else on that side. We're now going to have a Batman side. We're going to have a Spider-Verse side on the back, because we have already got Spot and everything up there, so the CMF minifigures will go at the back. And then that obviously now clearly means we can use the exit for the Avengers Tower for something, so I do need an idea for that. And then obviously we're going to have all the characters going down and up the side of the Daily Bugle if required, and obviously as these buildings come about. And then of course that's all four covered, because you've got the battle bit that obviously everybody does. It's yeah, four completely different ones, isn't it? So we've got our own display on there. We've got the Loki stuff with the battle, and you can see that we've got Thor's hammer going through on that bit. So that sort of gives a nice little action shot when that all starts to come together. So yeah, it's going to be the very weird and wonderful Batman display that we'll be doing in a little bit. But now, because that didn't take too long, I am going to tile this bit just here. So this might take a little bit of work because I'm going to be going white just as the outer edge, because it just gives me a guide of where to go to. And I'm only adding it on if it doesn't have a bit at the front. So hence the sides are done. That's tiled at the front, and I've done the white on that bit, white there, but the darker grey on that bit, and it just sort of splits it up with regards to a theme park step up for the front of the building and a path that will also lead you around. So this bit I've just got to figure out, because that bit at the corner is going to be where obviously the next bit starts. So we'll be going white on that bit, coming all the way for a base plate and a half. So I'll just get that bit white to about in line with this, tile this bit up, get that back on for the diorama, and then we can start to mess around with the Batman display. Right, well that makes a huge difference. So obviously I've just come in line, because this bit here is going to be a separate display outside the diner, but it's also going to be behind the X-Men mansion. So you have to kind of figure out what we're going to do with that, because I think you're going to be able to see through the X-Men mansion. I'm talking like I've got it. I haven't got the X-Men mansion at all. This is being filmed November of 2025. Like I said, this is all prep ready for 2026 as normal. You're filthy. Just turn you off. I've actually got, there we go. I've got to take the battery out. So let's get you placed somewhere-ish, roughly. Where's the little bits of wood? There they are. So being super organised, and it's actually not taken that long into this video. It's probably taken what, maybe 6-7 minutes to do these two bits, and now, well, it's all going to go downhill, because now we are going to do the display side of it completely raw. And I do need a double hands for this, because it's going to be a bit tricky and interesting. But yeah, I like how the Hulk is with that, and I like how that's set up. The tail will wrap around the building. Of course, what we will be doing on the left hand side is leaving space for the Sentinel, Galactus, and obviously the Fantastic Four bits and pieces as well. So yeah, we will have room for that. That is also the potential of what will just be in front of the diner, because I thought maybe having the taller characters around here, sort of looking at each other facing forward with all of the others around, that could potentially work, or just the Fantastic Four set just on that corner, and then it's not going to block anything off with that. So yeah, so we've tiled there, we've tiled round. You can see how this is now just all going to match up and it goes through, but we are now focusing on this bit just up here. Now this might take a minute or two, because I have got to find all of the DC minifigures, and then I've also got to figure out, am I going to do like a multiverse of madness with regards to all of the Batmen, or are we just going to chop and change? Because I have got a lot of villains, I've got a lot of Batmans and a lot of Batgirls and all that kind of thing. So yeah, I've just got to figure out exactly who I'm going to put up there. So I think probably the best idea is to take these off first. They'll go on the display a little bit further back, and then I will probably be a good idea to grab some of the figures that I'm going to need, grab a bike, and then we can make a right mess of this. Right, it is time for the Batman display. In case you didn't realise, I have got lots and lots of different Batman characters, all different Batman, and a lot of the Batgirl characters on here for the Joker Manor, and that's just where I've been keeping them. And of course, we did have them going on the roller coaster as well, so you've got White Suit Joker. So we might have to chop and change who gets put on, but we would kind of like the main ones. But I think what I'm going to have to do is on the live stream is do a poll of people's favourite versions of their villains, because I've got, say, 5 or 6 Jokers, and I think, well, let's be honest, the Heath Ledger Joker deserves to be on show the most, because I think that's an outstanding print on that, this one just here. But then, of course, I have got just other bits and pieces dotted around. I've got 4 or 5 different Penguins, you know, there's all sorts. And, of course, that's not including the animated series stuff or anything from the film or anything like that. So in the front of us, we have got 89 hard cape. You've got the animated one with the hard cape, and then you've got the other animated one with the blue cape internally. And then we've got Bale, and then we've got Patterson. And if, obviously, with the new Batmen that are coming out, with regards to the cars and stuff for January, there's an opportunity to get the other one. So we could literally, on the front, have, I don't know, like literally the Multiverse of Madness type thing going on at the on the front where they're all on show. And what I do is where we have got, where is he? He's hiding. He'll be hiding somewhere. The one with, there he is. The one with the shoulder pads on. The Apocalypseburg Batman can go up top on, obviously, the Batman thing just up there, and I think that'll look quite smart. So yeah, we can just sort of have a play, and then we can see what we can do. Now, the only thing that would kind of make sense is we are going to have to add a Superman on there, and the supes can go here if we're not going to have the Iron Man sort of thing flying through, which I actually knocked off, didn't I? Knocked that off the other day because I was going to pick it up. Forgot to pick it up, and I haven't got a clue where it is. So yeah, we can have him flying. This is the figure, excuse me, this is the figure that comes with the Kryptonite. So we could have that one just randomly, well, just doing his thing, just like that. And then I think, what do we do at the top? Do we put Bale and, yeah, probably put the Dark Knight trilogy up top. Just need to find his hairpiece. So we can have them there and there, rather than having one in there, because he is a really rather very good looking minifigure. And yeah, we'll just mash it up, why not? We'll go for a completely wrong mix that we can get, that you can do this in a theme park, so it'll work out to be okay. All right, then this leads me on to, how many prongs do we have sticking out of here? Because we've got 1, 2, 3. We can have another one up top, which would be there for 4. But it does depend on who we want. Who do we want in there? So we've got the best Joker, the most detailed Joker, should I say, up top. I'm not saying he's the best, but the most detailed. The animated one in the white suit's obviously very, very, very good indeed. We're going to have a representation of each one, obviously. But I mean, like, that Joker is very good. That Joker is also very good. The white suit Joker, I mean, like I said, I've got quite a few of them. We've got lots of different Penguin variants, going from the cartoony one all the way through to the Batman one. We'll start off with, we've even got the 66 Batman as well. And of course we've got the 66 Joker. So they'll probably be with the vehicles, I would imagine. We actually have got a different variation of Superman without his things. Exactly, is it a different one? No, it's different hair. Ooh, which hairpiece do we prefer? See, that's the other thing. Side swipe. No, we'll just do that. We'll just do this one for now. He can be holding his plaque, showing it off to the world. And we'll add you back over to there, and we'll chop and change it as we go. Now, Mr. Freeze is the one that we're going to need next. We are going to have another Batman up top. Yeah, that is Bale's Batman. Just need the hair for Bale, which is in the bag. So some of the other characters obviously can be used in the vehicles. We've got a Scarecrow. So we'll have to use that one. That Scarecrow's a nice Scarecrow actually. That one comes with the tumbler. So we can have that Scarecrow on. There's the Mr. Freeze that I'm looking for. He's a cool looking Freeze. So we can have. It's the problem is with these characters. It's not like they would do this kind of thing, like dangling off the side of the building, but they are just there for show, aren't they? So we could have some of them actually falling. We could go for some of them falling backwards, actually, couldn't we? We could make it out that you are tumbling. There you go. Is that a bit harsh? It looks like he actually does look like he's falling. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe that's what we'll do with the villains. We'll just have them falling down. We could also have the Riddler doing the same thing. So, do I put the Riddler up top? No, we'll put the Riddler down one. So, if I move, yeah, I do not want to rip that panel off. Put these on. I wonder if it can actually fit more than one character on. I wonder if I could put a Batman on each one. Yeah, that looks a bit gruesome, doesn't it? But actually works quite well. That does work quite well. Never done that before. I wonder, just out of a matter of interest, can you just have... Yeah, so you can. So if you wanted to, you could have that. But I think the illusion of them falling, maybe. But it does look quite nice having them up there, so... because that's a Patterson one covered. I do want the 89 on show, really. So the 89 wants to be... I don't think the 89 will fit. But the 89 with the Riddler. Obviously, what would make sense is using the 89 Batman with... Oh, you're the wrong way. The correct characters, but we've got Joker pairing, Batman. So we just need the other Batman up top. So I will have to get another one, but for now we might as well use this. The animated will go up there because the 66 is going to go in the car, in the 66 car driving around. So could we? Well, we can. Have those up on there. So we've got Freeze and animated. Again, I could use the animated. Oh, that is the animated Freeze. I think. Have I done that by mistake? I think it is. Oh, I have to double check that. Because I've got the animated car, which will be parked up at the bottom. I know the animated comes with 3 figures. So it comes with a hard cape. It does come with an animated Mr. Freeze. I'll change that before we finish. If I'm wrong, if it's that one, for example, which could well be, I might just change it to that one. Right, you see what I'm trying to do with this now? See, you make one little funny thing, and I will do my best to do something crazy. Now I got given a Bane. Here we go. I got given a Bane. Now, thank you very much for this Bane. That was Mr. Adam himself. That was the one that you picked up from a toy fair nearly a year ago. So do we have Bane and Penguin? Because they're the only two that are missing. Yeah, they're the last 2 villains, aren't they? So what Penguin do we use? We've got teeny tiny, but we've got that version of Penguin. Yeah, I think actually that is, because I think that's the gun. That's Mr. Freeze's weapon. So I definitely am going to have to be googling that. Yeah, we've got that Penguin. We've got the other Penguin that comes with the shadow box, which has got all of its teeth on. And of course, I could just literally dupe this up with another prong. So we could just carry this all the way. We could carry that out all the way down, but we either go another one below, or we go right up to the top. But this one up at the top, will it fit one stood up? Just, yeah, so we could have one right at the top, or we have them falling. Right, I am going to figure out which is the animated series Freeze. I think the other figure was Harley Quinn, which is this one. So that's got to be that's the animated Harley Quinn. So obviously we could have her with the Joker. So she could be on just the next level randomly if I had some more of those curly prongs. So they'll keep turning up. Because we have got some spare ones dotted about, so that'll be added to over a period of time. But I do actually quite like that, because that does look very, very effective, with them kind of just basically losing all the time, doesn't it? So something a little bit different, and we have got the option of adding in another 3. So not a bad result. Right, so I have just had a quick look, and I was right with regards to the minifigure, but I was actually wrong with regards to the weapon. It's like a really weird fat thing by the looks of it on the, I think it's that. I think that's what it is, but that just looks really boring. Obviously it's a massive cannon, but I think that just looks a little bit more suitable for a theme park. So rather than actually using the correct one, I'm just going to use one that I think that looks better. Now, I have moved 1 or 2 bits and pieces just to see, so we've actually got the 3 together that you get in the both of the tumblers with the Christian Bale minifigure, so I think that looks nice. Obviously we just have Superman randomly flying around, coming down. Harley Quinn's the only one stupid enough to actually dive off the building, so we've got the 3 animated series ones together, which then means we might as well put the correct Penguin with the correct Batman, which means the only reason why I'm doing that is because this is the only one that actually has the more adult legs. So we'll have this one being kicked off. We'll go left leg out. And then I will have the 89 with the Riddler, because obviously I know it's not ideal, but it will do for now, because he is one of the villains over in the first 2 films, I am sure. That's a lie, he's not, because Jim Carrey takes over in Batman and Robin. So I'll have to possibly change that, but that's fine. But we got the idea, we got the concept. But what I will do is the Catwoman that comes with the shadow box will also be used on this display, because that print is just amazing, and I will get some more of the bits and pieces that stick out. And I've just found 6 DC figures on top of the Harry Potter from where we were doing different displays before, so it wouldn't surprise me that on top of either the bank or the cinema we've already used some other characters and things. But as we start to pan down, I think that's going to look quite nice, especially if the actual lighting and everything was correct and on it. And then yeah, we've got three more prong holes just there. I have added in Alfred next to Feige just on the side just there, so they're chilling out. I've also added Cap just at the bottom. But yeah, I've just found Thor and another handful of these, so they can obviously just be dotted around anywhere, so we can put them all over the place. And I've just got to think of what I'm going to do with these 3. I don't know whether to have them on the display on this side, because there's going to be nothing here, and maybe have a huge back street fight thing going on at the back with those 3, but I'll think about that, excuse me, in a separate upload. So we have got, apart from Bane, I think we've got all the figures represented. Oh, there they are, that's what I was looking for. So actually, no, it's a mix of DC and Batman. I picked them up off the side and then just plonked them down. So yeah, so we've got another couple of those. We've got all the white suit ones from the actual movie. So I've got that one, because I've got the white suit Batman as well. So that's all of those together. But I do have these characters literally everywhere. So even though I've had the displays up here for ages, this is the first time we're actually making proper displays in dioramas. So they will be coming out the woodwork. They're all in bags, like bags and bags and bags like that, which are in bags, which are inside bags. So as we go through, we will find them. So we know what we're going to be doing with this one, but I don't think I have any more minifigures, like villains, or should I say another Batman variant, because those 4 I'm not going to split up. So those 4 will just live up on the picture frame up at the top. And yeah, it'd be the Catwoman and the other, the one that helps Penguin run. The Penguin itself is in that shadow box. I've got that Penguin. So I don't know whether to have him just walking around, because he is a great looking penguin. Or have him maybe by one of the cars, because that's going to be the next thing. What vehicle do we use for DC? Don't forget, the plan is actually we're going to have a little bit of a crazy diorama at the front just there, which actually as I'm stepping back, does look really, really nice. But out the front here, this is obviously the expansion of DC. So we've got a bit DC on that bit. We're going to have one of the Batman figures up at the top with the DC characters it comes with from the Lego Movie 2, which is very, very strange, because it comes with the Suicide Squad Harley Quinn, which is a gorgeous print on that one as well. I've just picked that one off and added that into the pile. That's the one with the silver baseball bat. So I've got two really nice Harley Quinns to add with, obviously, the animated series one, because there's one of them just there. There's her black one, and then I've got the other one where she is wearing the animated, the Suicide Squad one, there, that one. So that one will go up there with a very random Green Lantern that is in there. We'll have another Superman that'll be going in that one, but again, very weird, very, very weird film. So yeah, we'll just do a little weird and wonderful display with that one. And then we've got loads of variations of Catwoman and Batgirl and all that kind of stuff that can be put at the front where this is, and then it will carry on coming through and then merging with the Harry Potter. So I'm just going to spend I'm going to just quickly think that I haven't got, unless I put the Penguin with this one, it just makes sense having the Riddler. So I'm just going to have the Riddler without Batman. It's not the correct Batman for now, but it's just one of those with the correct characters, and obviously it's his hard cape. But I do like the fact that we've got those 3 up at the top. There's nothing I can do with the little Batwing. I'm not going to bring that off and have that flying around. That can just stay. Up at the top. But yeah, space for 3 more. All of those are added in at the bottom. Got to figure out what we're going to do with these, and then also we can add in. There's another 3 of those to add in, which I think would actually maybe look quite nice. Just stood around the base of this. Now obviously this is going to happen quite a bit because I haven't put the hoppers in, because I wanted to be able to basically do whatever I wanted, and then also I'm not going to touch it. So can I get that one in? I've got my arm around. With those there, then obviously now it gives us the ability to add in a couple of more minifigures at the back. So we could have the original OG team. So we could have, yeah, it's all of them, isn't it? That stood there where he goes, oh, that's my secret, I'm always angry. So we could have that group just on that bit, and that could be the little street diorama. And of course, don't forget, it is supposed to be a theme park path. So we've still got to leave space for the different bits and pieces, but there's nothing on here at the moment. Oh, of course. Well, there I am. I'm saying about the 66 and the car, but if I did get another prong and plonk it in, we could have this 66 with the classic 66 Joker. I think I've got a variant of every Joker to go on there, but I think I just want different characters. But the 66 would be pretty cool, because obviously it's the Tash. So all of those are in a separate bag. So I'll find that over time, find the prongs that will go in there, and we'll do that. And then I will look into doing the actual original OG Avengers team just down on that bit on the next upload. But that's it. So you can see what I'm going to do. I'm trying to keep it short and sweet, even though the actual adding the minifigures takes the longest bit of time. So you know what's going to be coming later with regards to moving the paths and everything around. Lots and lots of minifigures to add. So I'm going to have to put all of those back in the bag. And we're just going to be doing a mashup of Marvel DC on that. Figure out which way it is I'm going to go. I think We're going to wrap it round behind the Daily Bugle next, and then we can start doing a display all round by the Statue of Liberty just there, use the Sandman, use the MCU, Spider-Man minifigures and get them done. And then if I do find any more, then obviously we can start adding more to the Avengers Tower. And when I start to add in the original team down at the front, I need to get some more minifigures in front of the Daily Bugle. So potentially that's where these three could just be stood. I'm wondering what is going on. But yeah, I'm still not too sure what to do with those three. So if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Let me know with regards to ideas of who should be teamed up with what and where all the things should go. But that does look quite smart with those bits. And of course we have got one prong just here, so we can keep that for the back display, or we can keep that for DC on the side. But as always, thank you very much for watching. You lot take care and see you next one.